Everyone, I'm Ryan. You're watching 60 Cycle Young. And in this video, I'm going to play some surf guitar and I'm going to smoke some pork ribs. I'm going to show you my process for smoking ribs, and I'm going to call this surf and turf. That's a good concept, right? If I was cooking beef, I could say cowabunga right now, and it would be a fun food joke. But I'm cooking pork ribs. I've got them down here in front of me. This came from the 3-pack of ribs you can get from Costco. I'm going to cook 2 today and throw the extra one in the freezer because 3 is just a lot for my family. So anyways, basic prep to cook these. It's really not hard at all. First thing you got to do is you got to flip them over, and you see this white membrane here that's on the back of the ribs. You don't have to do this, but I like to do it most of the time. Sometimes I like to mix it up and not do it. You want to remove that membrane because it's just gonna be an extra thing for people to chew through, and you're not gonna get the same penetration with the smoke through the back there. Sometimes I like to leave it because it gets nice and crisp, and sometimes that can be fun. But I'm gonna show you how to take them off. It's really simple. You take just your normal kitchen dinner knife, you slide it in between the membrane and the bone, give it a nice light little tug, and it looks slimy. One side of it is kind of slimy, but the underside of it is actually kind of velvety. And it's very satisfying to pull off, I'll say that. And you just slowly pull it away from the back of the ribs. And I throw that away because I don't know any good use for it. Do you know any good uses for that membrane? Tell me in the comments. So next up, I'm going to cut this in half just because my smoker isn't a wide smoker. I don't have room for a full uncut rack of ribs in there. So just slice that right in half. Flip it over. Actually, you know what? Flip it over. Now is time to season it. When I first started out smoking meats and whatnot, I went crazy with the seasoning. I was doing all kinds of dry rubs and things like that, and sauces and all that nonsense. And as the years have gone by, I've pulled back and become more and more minimalist with my seasoning, to the point where all I use now is just sea salt. Not even a ton. Yeah, that's plenty. The pork is already a fairly salty meat. It's famous for that. Pork is known for being salty. Also, I just find that if I'm smoking meat, I want to taste the smoke. I don't want to taste a bunch of chili powder. I don't want to taste a bunch of garlic. I don't want to taste a bunch of black pepper and stuff like that. I want to enjoy the smokiness of the meat and have this kind of like more pure, simple taste, and enjoy kind of the output of the smoker. So anyways, that's it. Now I can go fire up the smoker, put this in there, and then wait a good 5-6 hours to have dinner. Before I throw my meat in there, I want to talk a minute about my smoker. What kind of smoker I'm using, what kind of wood I'm going to use, and so on and so on. I use a propane smoker, and I know right now there's people out there, those of you who are just clenching your
butt cheeks and grinding your teeth in rage because you're like, I thought he was gonna smoke the meat. I thought he was using wood. I am using wood. But propane is the fire source. It's the heat source. I like propane because you set it and you forget it and it stays consistent for hours and hours and hours all day long. As long as you have a consistent source of propane, it's gonna stay pretty much the same temperature. And that's what I like in a cooking environment. All wood is great if you can sit there and manage it, but I don't wanna do that. I'm doing this on a hobby level. I'm not a restaurant. So anyways, how does a propane smoker work? At the bottom of the smoker, there's a burner. And right above the burner, there's a pan where you throw your wood chunks. I'm using peach wood. I cut this off a branch of my own peach tree and I'm almost out of it. So sorry, peach tree. After the summer's over, I'm coming for more branches because this is the best damn wood I've ever used for smoking in my life. I just love the flavors that peach wood imparts on the meats that I cook. I also really like cherry. You can buy that in stores usually. I also really like plum wood. I had a plum tree go dead years back, and I've still been working through my supply of wood from that plum tree. It's very good. It's kind of in between peach and cherry in like this fruitiness that I really like with my smoked meats. So anyways, above the wood pan, there's a water pan. And the water pan is full of water, yes, but it's really there to catch all the grease and to keep that grease from burning. Because if your grease burns, if it dripped down into the wood pan where the burning and the smoking is happening, then you would get a grease fire and your smoker would turn into an incinerator and you'd be done for the day. Everything would be ruined. And then of course, above the water pan are your trays and your racks for your meats and everything else that you're smoking in there. All right, let's throw this stuff in there and we'll come back in 6 hours and eat it. Well, it's time. It's been about 6 hours. I put them in right around 11. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon now. About an hour ago, I opened it up and I wrapped half the racks with aluminum foil for the people that like their ribs extra tender, fall off the bone, clean bone club sort of stuff. I like my ribs to have a little bit of a snap to them, a little bit of tug and pull with the meat. So I leave the other half unwrapped for that. I also have some pulled pork in here that I'm gonna leave for another couple hours, and then I'm gonna save that in the fridge for future meals. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, it's dripping right now. Something else I wanted to mention is that I really only used about 2.5 chunks of wood with this. It doesn't take a lot. When I first started smoking, I just kept the wood going the whole time, just keep it bellowing smoke, and it resulted in food that was just too burnt tasting. It's too much smoke. Now, after I want to say a decade of experience, I want there to be smoke. I want it to be smoky food, and I achieve that. I get a smoke ring. It's delicious, but you don't need that much smoke. 2 chunks of that wood was more than enough. And when I cut this open, I think you'll see that. All right. Oh, wow. Still a little bit too hot for me to handle. But look at that. Look at that thick smoke ring there. It goes all the way in, all the way around. It's just super duper juicy. All right. We know it looks good. Big rib smile there. Let's see how it tastes, huh? Let's see how it pulls off. Still pulls clean off the bone, even though it's not the hyper tender style that's going to be inside the foil here. Yeah, that's too good. I could sit here and pick at this for a while. But yeah, just the right amount of smoke on here. Not overwhelming, but it has that like smoky, woody warmth to it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon for more recipes. Follow me here. And stay grounded. Bye, everybody. All right, now you can be noisy.